And in May last year, we started our rehearsals. And all of a sudden, I'm put up with a group of complete strangers. There are around 1,000 of us. We weren't really told what we were going to do. All that we knew, all that I knew, was that I was going to be carrying a lot of stuff. I was assigned to be working with lots of dirt on the face, pulling grass and chimneys coming out of the ground. Anyway, that was my section. So during the rehearsals, I ended up meeting these strange and wonderful people of all sorts of varieties. So one of them was a 50-year-old graphic marketing director. Another one was an academic in his 60s. Another one was a video editor in his 20s. So you get the picture. There were lots of people from all different backgrounds and stories. And for once in my life, I felt comfortable that I could just be me. And nobody's going to judge me, and nobody's going to talk about me, and we're all having a laugh. And even if I said silly things, they all laughed with me. It would be out of pity or out of laughter, I don't know, but they all still laughed. So anyway, these 3 months came, and the rehearsals approached. And 2 weeks before the opening ceremony, I was thinking, right. So we had started to develop great friendships, and because we're all seeing each other at least 3 times a week, every Saturday, every Sunday, 5 hours at a time. And then 2 weeks before the ceremony, I remember thinking, right, this is going to be the best show of my life, best show, and I'm not going to miss this one way or another. I need to find a way to watch the whole ceremony, because if you think about it, there were at least 10,000 performers, and there weren't enough seats for all the performers to go back into the stadium and watch the remainder of the ceremonies. So what I went, and is that during the rehearsals, I'd go and say I'd have a toilet break, when really I would go around and sneak into the stadium, and I'd go and look at the corridors and look at the maps on the walls and look at the lifts and say, right, corridor M4 leads to lift A5, which leads up to the media section in section 3, which takes me down to the vomitory number 1. And I have 2 minutes to get from my entrance section to that section if I am to go to block 238 and if I'm going to watch the ceremonies. So I was starting scheming and planning, and then I'd be going home, drawing up pictures and diagrams of the stadium and little images of myself and my costume. I'm thinking, how am I going to get change? So then I'm thinking, right, I have my accreditation. It allows me to be a games, because I had two roles, games maker and ceremonies performer. So right, after I finish my section, I'm going to stash my games maker costume in another room, then quickly get changed, then come back out, scrub my face, nobody will notice. It was all too difficult and complicated. So my friend said, well, Henry, why don't we just wear our normal clothes underneath? And that's what we did. So opening ceremony. So whilst everybody was watching, thinking, oh, magnificent ceremony, blah, blah, blah. What many people didn't know was that I was scheming away during my toilet breaks, doing all my planning and logistics. And so my friend and I named this operation, we called it Operation Pinky and the Brain. Myself being Brain, my friend being Pinky. And what we did was that basically we performed with all our clothes, our normal clothes, underneath our costumes. So we were lugging the turf, and we had, so I had a £5 note in this mobile phone in here, and I had a bag in another pocket to put my uniform costume in. And then we had wet wipes in another pocket, so that once we finished our section, we scrubbed ourselves, removed all the dirt off our face. And then once we finished, went up the stairs, and then whilst, remember the James Bond bit was playing around? Conveniently, we were in the toilet getting undressed out of our costume into our normal clothes, into disguise. How convenient that James Bond was playing. And then ended up going into one of the seats and one of the stands and watched the remainder of the opening ceremony whilst we sneak back in. And enjoyed the rest of the ceremony. But that was only 1 out of 4 ceremonies. Now I'd be here all night telling you what I did for the other 3 ceremonies. So that will probably have to be for another time. Thank you very much.